Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Agents of Change business briefing this evening. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to get logged in, get their sound on. You will notice that you're coming in muted. That's done on purpose, and probably cannot put your picture on either. We want to have your full attention on this business briefing. You can, however, put in the chat where you're calling or dialing in from. I'm dialing in from Louisville, Ohio. If you're not familiar with where that's at, if you know where the Professional Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, I'm about 20 minutes from there. So if you ever want to visit there, let me know, and I'll definitely get you hooked up and get you into that place. It's a great place to go. Although that's not what we're here to talk about. We'll give everybody another 30 seconds to get signed in here this evening and get joined up. I can't wait to get Mr. Tanner in front of y'all. Good evening, everybody. Again, welcome. Giving everybody a chance to get signed in, get their volume turned up, and to get ready to go. Good evening again, everybody. Welcome. We're going to let a couple more people get signed in here before we get up and running here. Again, don't be afraid to put in the chat where you're dialing in from. Again, I'm coming in from Ohio, the great state of Ohio. I think it's the capital of allergies at this point in time. But anyways, all right. Well, listen. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to someone who's become a very good friend of mine, somebody who I consider a mentor and a coach, somebody that helps point me in the right directions when I forget how to pass the ball. Certainly a business partner. I would consider Jim a business partner. He knows. He's the guy you go to when you want to have all the fun, and he certainly knows how to make the big money in this business. So without further ado, Mr. Jim Tanner.
Hey, John Fehrenbach, thank you very much, and welcome everybody. I appreciate you joining me here this evening. I am so fired up and excited. Folks that know me, I've already been annoying them all evening, talking about tonight and getting ready for this moment, because I understand the gravity of what we're going to do here. You're about to see, and I get to be the one to share it with you, exactly what I saw 19 years ago. Because I was introduced to the same information I get the honor and privilege of sharing with you. As a matter of fact, I'll share my story with you as I go. But since Mr. Fehrenbach was talking about where he is, I'm here zooming in today from my home in the suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. We call this Boston Metro West. It's about 18 minutes from Fenway Park for the baseball fans here in attendance. And I'm excited about this. I want to share it with you. But I want to start by talking about and acknowledging something that I think we can all agree, which is that the world has changed. Now today, and probably the reason you were invited here as a guest is because we're in this work from anywhere, not work from home, but work from wherever we want revolution. During COVID and the pandemic over the last few years, a lot of what happened during that time where people had a moment to pause and reflect on what they wanted their lives to be, most people, I mean, a lot of folks have taken a look at their lives and their commitments and the things that made up the abundance of their day. And they're saying, you know, I don't know if those are the things that are the most important to me. And people wanted options. They wanted different income opportunities. They wanted time so that they could make their own decisions with flexibility and to be independent. So the fact is that, you know, what we used to say is people wanted to work from home. Right now, people don't want to work from home necessarily. They want total control of what their work looks like. And for some of you, that is from home. Like for myself, I've got a daughter, 7 years old, and she's never had to live in a world where her dad left every day, got in the car, drove away from the family, drove away from the home. She's always had me here when she wakes up in the morning. I drive her to school. I'm the first face she sees when the school day's over because I'm there to pick her up and bring her home. It's basically the exact life I wanted, and it's thanks to the business that I'm here to share with you today. Now, I should also mention that while I'm going to talk about this information for you that you were invited to see, I'm also going to step aside here in a few minutes, and I'm going to let you hear from some other folks as well that are on this journey with me, my business partners as well. So I'm going to come to them in a few moments, but for right now, I just want to talk with you about what your real choices, what your real opportunities are. And when I looked at this business for the first time, again, 19 years ago, I know that dates me. I can't believe it's been 19 years either. It's gone by quickly, and it's been the most fun I could ever have in a career. But as people have looked at what they wanted their lives to be like, with uncertainty, they wanted to have either a backup plan, a plan B, a new career, a plan A, or maybe just a way to refill their retirement and savings accounts or catch up for the future. Well, when I looked at this business, I remember that one of my early mentors, a man named Brian Carruthers, said, if you were the Michael Jordan of what you do, nobody does what you do better than you do it. Could you retire with your dream lifestyle? And challenged with that question, I had to answer honestly, no, because I looked around and the people that had the jobs I could be promoted to, the lives that I could be promoted to in work, they didn't have the lives I wanted. They didn't have the choices that I desired. And what I learned when I got involved in this business is there's different types of income. So the question I'd ask you today is, are you working for the right kind of income? Because there's linear income, which is what I used to earn exclusively, trading time for money. You know, I'd go to work, I'd work an hour, I'd get paid for that hour. And so many of us are familiar with that. But there's not just linear income, although that's what most of us are exposed to. And that's what most of us think about when we think about how we earn income. Well, the fact is that earning linear income, I actually had a full-time job and a part-time job, and those two jobs plus commuting was 80 hours a week. So I was flat out of time that I could trade for money. The problem was I wasn't earning enough income to pay all my bills. I was routinely choosing between food and gas for my car. And that's when I learned that there's other forms of income, like leveraged income, where, for example, you could be like a broker, you know, like a real estate broker. You have a real estate agent sells a home, earns a commission when they sell that home. That's great. But let me ask you a question. Would you rather be the agent, or would you rather be the broker that has a whole bunch of agents and they're working collaboratively with other professionals and earning a little bit every time one of their agents sells a home? That's leverage income. And you see that in real estate. You see that in the insurance world as well. But I'm going to show you how, without stepping into the world of real estate, stepping into the world of insurance, stepping into those other worlds, that you can earn leveraged income. And what about residual income, the holy grail of income, where you can do something one time and earn income again and again, month after month, year after year, decade after decade into the future for something you did one time. Now, some of you know folks that earn residual income, or you do. Maybe you wrote a book and you earn royalties from that book. Perhaps you own buildings and you rent the apartments out and you have the residual passive income from that. And you understand the power of that. As a matter of fact, 5% of Americans earn some form of residual income. However, 95% don't. And of that 95% that don't, the reality is most people never even considered that that's a type of income. So I'm going to show you here in just a couple of minutes how you can earn all three forms of this income. And I just want to say this before we get any further. Listen, if you're looking at something you're going to do, if you're evaluating your opportunity options, then you need to have these areas in place. You got to have a great company, a company that stood the test of time, not a company that's here today and gone tomorrow. You need something that solves a real problem in the marketplace, that speaks to the consumers. You need products that make sense, that are priced right and within reach of the people that the problem solves. You need great compensation, and you need the right timing. Because the reality is you can be too soon or too late, even if it's a good idea. And the T in timing is far more important than the T in talent. So let's take a look first at our company. This is our founder, Harlan Stonecipher. Now, Mr. Stonecipher is no longer with us today, but this visionary leader, the pioneer of our company, let me just share for a moment his story. Because you also see next to the picture of Harlan Stonecipher is this car accident that Mr. Stonecipher was in. Now, this was a terrible car accident. A woman ran through an intersection and hit him and nearly killed him. And while he was in the hospital, at the advice of her attorney, she sued him. Even though she was the one that was at fault, she was the one that got all the tickets from the highway patrol. And here's what happened. Mr. Stonecipher had to defend that lawsuit, and it drained his life savings. And he looked at the situation he was in. Now, Mr. Stonecipher at that time was a full-time school teacher in rural Oklahoma. He also had a part-time career where he earned extra income as a life insurance agent, and he evaluated what happened. And in his own words, in his autobiography, he said, I had health insurance to cover my time in the hospital. I had car insurance to get me a new car. I even had life insurance in case I didn't make it. But the one thing I didn't have was a protection for when somebody sued me, so I wasn't wiped out financially. And he reasoned that there must have been something he could buy, something he could have to give him that peace of mind, and he had just overlooked it. When he went searching for that solution and discovered that it did not exist in the United States of America, he did what so few people would do. He set about to change how things work. And from that car accident and from his kitchen table, the idea of our company has blossomed into what we are today. And today, this headquarters, this $30 million facility sitting high on a hill in Ada, Oklahoma, is a 51-year-old company that today protects and empowers 4.4 million people in the United States and Canada. And here's Mr. Stonecipher's vision. I don't think anybody can say it better than he did. It was to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. Now, you may have never heard of Harlan Stonecipher before today. You may have never seen the logo on that building or a photo of that building before. But while you have never perhaps heard of our 51-year-old company, we've been written up in Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, and Bloomberg. As a matter of fact, USA Today said it sounds like healthcare before it became $1 trillion industry. And this company that Harlan Stonecipher started on his kitchen table went to the American Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, and then finally we were acquired by MidOcean Partners in a $650 million acquisition. Now today, as part of this partnership with our financial partners, we're a $2 billion company. And why is this company so valuable? What is it that we do that's so important? Well, I'm going to show you our product, flagship product here in a second, but just think about what this is. It's a disruptive innovation. And all a disruptive innovation is, all you need to know is that it's something that makes life simpler, easier, and more affordable. Like, for example, we used to shop at the mall. Now we have Amazon. Tap a few buttons on your phone. You don't run around town looking for the best price, the best color, the best size. You tap a few buttons and that product shows up at your doorstep 48 hours later, 24 hours later, sometimes the same day. We used to go to the music store, buy the whole album when all we wanted to do was hear one song. Now we have Spotify. Every song, every album, every artist, every podcast, everything we've ever wanted, and it's right there at our fingertips on our own phone. And that's where this app, our Legal Shield flagship product, resides today. Because we've taken this unresponsive and incredibly expensive legal system and we've made it simpler, easier, and more affordable. And just ask yourself, have you ever thought about writing or revising your will? Or maybe you've had your personal information compromised. Perhaps you've been treated unfairly and you've said to somebody, let me speak to your supervisor. Knowing in the back of your head that it wasn't going to do any good, it doesn't mean anything to you or to them, but just being so frustrated, not knowing what else to say. Maybe you signed a contract or clicked agree on something that you didn't quite understand. The fact is that every legal document that we sign or click agree on a screen was prepared by somebody's attorney to protect their best interest, and that's placed in front of us. And most of the time, we have no idea what it means. Maybe you've got a traffic ticket. You've had an insurance claim denied. You've had questions about your credit score. Maybe you've been notified that your identifying information has been in one of these incredible giant hacks of social media accounts or other databases. And that's why our Legal Shield product matters so much in the lives of everyday US and Canadian citizens, families and individuals, business owners and their employees. And this is our Legal Shield mobile app. I'm going to share with you two flagship products briefly, but this is Legal Shield. And let me just ask you a question. What would you have to charge if you were my attorney and you charge $300, $400 an hour normally? And I came to you and I said, hey, listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come up with a price on a monthly basis for me and my entire family, because I don't want to pay you by the hour. I just want a simple once a month fee. You tell me the price. And I want you to give me unlimited advice. Anytime I have a legal question, I don't want to Google it or ask my cousin who's not a lawyer or ask a friend who's a different kind of lawyer. I want a real lawyer that's an expert in the area of law that I have a question in to step in and give me advice. so that I can sleep easy knowing that I got the best advice. I want you to review every document before I sign it, because that's what wealthy people do. They have their attorneys review everything. They don't just sign stuff and hope for the best. Well, I want that same power. I want you to write letters for me, make phone calls for me when somebody's pushing me around or not treating me fairly. As a matter of fact, I'll just step out and tell you my story. This is the first time I ever used my Legal Shield membership, was because I had a landlord that told me I was not going to get my security deposit back. Now, I didn't break a lease. I didn't damage the property. He just didn't think I had anywhere to turn. And 24 hours after that landlord said I would never see that security deposit because of Legal Shield, sending a letter, overnighting it, FedEx Express, putting that in my landlord's hand, he called me the second he got that letter from my law firm. And he said, Jim, come and pick up this check. I don't want any problems from your lawyers. See, I had the balance of power that I didn't have without this membership. And because of that feeling of empowerment, our 4.4 million and growing members walk a little taller every single day. Maybe you wanted to get your will done, your living will. Again, think about this. You're my attorney. What would you have to charge me to just cover all of this stuff, not knowing how often I need it, not knowing how responsive I need you to be? I want you to do my will for me. I want you to update it every year for me. Because every year, you never know, right? The laws change every year. And quite frankly, every time I buy a house, buy a car, sell a car, have a kid, have a grandkid, get married, get divorced, start a new job, retire, I need a new will. So I want you to update it every year. If I get a traffic ticket, whether I get it down the street from my house or I get it all the way across the country, I want you to step in and represent me in traffic court in that community. How about that? Just think about what this would cost if you were my attorney. What would you have to charge me? I want you to take care of my civil trial defenses, because who's suing people? Everybody. So the next time somebody tries to sue me to make a bunch of money, I want you to step in and defend me. If the IRS comes calling, I want you to be there and be there and represent me to the IRS. I want you to take care of me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in emergency situations, and not just me, my whole family. Because there's something that's happening and it's an emergency, I can't wait until the next morning when your office opens. That means I need you to sleep with your cell phone on and answer it even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you were my attorney, what would you have to charge me for that? And this is our flagship product. And I'll bet you could come up with a lot of numbers, but I'll bet you wouldn't come up with $29.95 a month. $1 a day, a bottle of water a day for that kind of peace of mind, to be able to tap an app and talk to your attorney, text with your attorney, send messages back and forth, have them review documents, have them take care of representing you in traffic court, having them give you advice, all just boom, boom, boom. You can talk to them, you can text them, you can email them. Isn't that powerful? Peace of mind for you and your whole family. And I've had attorneys, by the way, say to me, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars a month, if they would even do it. I once had an attorney say, I would never quote your price, Jim, because I have no idea how much you would use my law firm. You could bankrupt my law firm. But you see, you might be saying to yourself, well, how could this be for $29.95 a month? I mean, what kind of attorney do you get for $1 a day? But it's not your $1 a day or my $1 a day. It's the combined buying power of 4.4 million people's $1 a day. And because of that buying power, it's the best attorneys in the nation. They're responsive. As a matter of fact, Legal Shield makes sure that you're satisfied at all times with every experience. Isn't that powerful, to put the power back in your hands, to have attorneys to represent you? These are your lawyers, and then to have the accountability on the back end to make sure that you're happy every single time. And who gets this app on their phone? The member's spouse or domestic partner, never married, dependent children under the age of 25 living at home, or full-time students, and dependent children under the age of 18 for whom the member is the legal guardian, physically or mentally disabled children living at home as well. That's peace of mind for the whole family. We call it Living Life Worry-Free. And our other flagship product is called ID Shield. And by the way, ID Shield does exactly what you think a product called ID Shield does. It monitors what matters. But I want to make sure that I help you understand, in case no one's ever said this to you, let me be the one. Your credit score is not your identity. Your identity is your good name, your brand. It's your name in the community. Excuse me. And while this does monitor your credit score and report your credit score, it also does so much more, because it lets you know if there's any problems with your social security number, your driver's license, your medical information, if your information's in the dark web. And by the way, there's about 100 products that are advertising right now across media, TV, everywhere, that are telling you the exact same thing. Some of you are homeowners and you're saying to yourself, I have that through my homeowner's policy. Some of you have purchased products from television. You're saying, I already have that. Some of you have been presented products from your bank or your credit card company. You're saying, I already have that. And I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. Because while you might have great monitoring, that's like having a smoke alarm. But what you really need when you become a victim of identity theft, which by the way, only takes a few seconds to find out if you have great monitoring, but could take you hundreds of hours to resolve on your own, you don't have to do that with ID Shield, because this is a product that stands alone. And Forbes, as a matter of fact, votes it #1 in a crowded, loud field of people saying they can resolve your identity theft. There's only truly one company that can do it, because ID Shield offers comprehensive restoration with a $1 million protection plan. Now, here's what that means. It means that licensed private investigators will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. That's peace of mind, because when identity theft lands at your front door, it's not a question of finding out or how quickly you can find out. It's who's going to do the restoration while you live your life. And we have a plan for individuals as well as a plan for families that covers the member, their spouse, and up to 10 dependent children as well. And I have the same allergy situation that John Fehrenbach does, but I think I'm going to be okay. Now, we're here to talk about the business of offering these flagship products, Legal Shield and ID Shield. So even though they're priced incredibly well, we have this thing called Member Perks that makes a no-brainer even better. So Member Perks, here's what this is. When you have a business where you have millions of happy customers, the biggest brands on planet Earth would love to do business with those customers. So what happens is companies like Adidas and Budget and Costco and so many others want to offer you deep discounts so that they can do business with you. And our Member Perks program allows you to leverage their desire to get great discounts on things you're probably already buying. As a matter of fact, in my house, we save more money with Member Perks on things we would buy anyway. We save more money than the investment in our Legal Shield and ID Shield membership every month. And most families using Member Perks will experience the same thing. So now you have a situation where you have these incredibly valuable services, mobile apps on your phone for you and your entire family, and then Member Perks to offset that investment to allow you this powerful thing. And by the way, both Legal Shield and ID Shield for a family combined, $64.90 a month for the whole family. That is powerful peace of mind, priced right and within reach of most families in the United States and Canada. We also have a product for business owners. I know some of you are thinking about that. Do you have a product for my small business? Do you have a product for my big business? The answer is yes. I have limited time this evening, but we'll make sure you get that information as well. So again, based on our $64.90 plan, you're a new associate. You sign up a family for these services, which by the way, is as simple as inviting them to a presentation like this, sending them a link so they can watch a video, directing them to your website so they can sign up as a brand new associate. When a family signs up for the $64.90 plan, you're earning $70. And that's where it starts. See, when I worked for other people, they decided when I got a promotion. But in this business, you decide when you get a promotion. Protect a few families and move from the $70 level, the associate level, to senior associate, which is $90 every time somebody goes to your website and signs up for the plans. Now, this represents a 1-year advance commission, and you earn residual income starting in month 13 for the life of every membership. So 12 months commission dropped in your bank account up front. And by the way, we get paid direct deposit 7 days a week, not the first, not the 15th, not the third Wednesday, not the second full moon, every single day, 7 days a week. That's cash flow for you with your new business. And with 1 year advance commission, that means you're funded on day one. That means you now have a business where you can earn advanced commissions right from the beginning. And as I said, protect a couple of families, move up to senior associate, and do that in your first 20 days, earn a $100 fast start bonus. Now, $100 isn't going to change your zip code, but it's a way the company celebrates you and recognizes you for protecting some people right out of the gate. But what about our executive director level, where you're earning $370? Every time a family gets protected from you, again, they can just go to your website, sign up. They're protected immediately. They get the mobile apps on their phone. They can log in. They have this immediate access to exactly what I just showed you. And you earn $370. And that's in your bank account in 24 to 48 hours. Every time you have a commissionable event in your business, that money's dropped into your bank account. Now, let's say You sign up 5 people a month as an executive director. You're earning an additional $1,850 a month with your little part-time, spare time business. But you sign up 5 people a week instead of monthly. Now you're earning $96,200 a year. That's nearly a 6-figure income. Do you see how the potential of this business and why it's changing so many lives? And just like I mentioned, like an insurance broker or a real estate broker, you can have a situation where you have people that you're working collaboratively and cooperatively with other professionals, and you're earning income when they protect families and they get commissions. We call this an override. And you can earn up to $300 in overrides when somebody on your team protects a family with these services. So let's just say, for example, that I'm brand new on your team. You're my executive director. I market a membership. You earn $300 as an override. You do that 5 times a month. You're earning over $1,000 in overrides. What if you had 5 of me on your team? What if you had 10 of me on your team? And now you can see why so many people are succeeding in our business and having this compound effect of growth just by sharing an opportunity that was shared with you, paying it forward. Now, we also, listen, we love to have fun and we love to do serious work, but serious work and fun go hand in hand in this company. And we have this program called Performance Club. And in Performance Club, you can earn cash bonuses and trips all over the world. So just in the last handful of years, I've been all over the world, walking the beaches of the world in Cancun, in Jamaica, Atlantis in the Bahamas. We just got back from Hawaii. We're heading to Mexico in a couple of weeks. All you have to do is protect a couple of families a month, and you're going to earn cash bonuses in our Performance Club by being consistent. And it'll be the beginning of your journey to qualifying for these trips all over the world. And I've asked a few people to join me and just share their story, because we only have limited time today. We're going to wrap up in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a getting started training for the folks that are getting started here tonight. But I would like to just take it out to Colorado, to my good friend Sonora Danzler. Sonora, I would love for you to share your story a little bit, and any thoughts you have for the folks that are watching here today. Over to you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Jim, for allowing me to share with everyone. Hey, everybody. I'm just going to share quickly a little bit about my story, my journey here thus far. So I came from corporate America, working 70, 80 hours per week. I'm sure a lot of you know a lot about that. And probably a lot of you are still actually in that same situation. But for me, I was missing everything that was so important to me. So I was missing, my kids, my husband, family, faith, fitness, finances, all the important things. And then I saw this opportunity and I said, you know what? Hey, I could actually do this in my spare time because it'll definitely fit into my busy schedule. So fast forward till today, I'm transitioning right now and working just part-time. I follow the amazing system that we have right here. I stay plugged in. I'm currently working with small business owners, their employees, their families, and I'm also building a team coast to coast of business professionals. And I'm so excited about that. So what's really next for me, you guys would like to know? Well, of course, you just have to follow along and see where we go here, but I'm so excited about it. But the most important part to me is that I'm going to continue to build my business, but not only do that, make a difference in all of the lives that I touch, because there's just so many people out there that need the memberships and that are also looking for this business. And I just can't wait to get out there and talk to all of them. So back to you, Jim, and thanks a lot for allowing me to share tonight.
Sonora, thank you very much. I love your story, your enthusiasm, and folks, we have mentors and coaches like Sonora standing by. She's on the Colorado side. Now let's go over here to the East Coast. Let's go to South Carolina to Miss Venus Powers.
Thank you, Jim. I certainly appreciate it. And Sonora, she definitely keeps us all in line. She's like the gal in our group. I mean, she's like, what did you do? How did you do it? And when can you do it again? And so we love that about her. She is our amazing person. And I've been so blessed to be a part of this team. I have a background in technology startups. And so I don't know if you remember in the early 2000s, the .com, tidal wave or tsunami or whatever you want to call it. We had numerous names for it, but we started companies, we sold companies, we got bought, we got sold. People made decisions for our life without us knowing about it. And, you always wanted to be a part of the decision-making team. Well, you weren't always. And there were times when life was uncertain, and that was very scary, but exciting at the same time. But when they make decisions like laying you off with 140 other people 10 days before your stock options vest and you lose $10,000, it kind of, doesn't make you feel real happy about it. And so I took some time off and I built a family, which I love. I have 2 boys who are amazing, and they are the most amazing 2 people I've ever met in my entire life. But when they were little, I decided I wanted a work from home job. And I met these 2 women who were incredible, and had an amazing career with them for 6.5 years. And they started making bad decisions on retention. And you will learn in this business that retention is your lifeblood. And without retention, your income changes. And so I started looking for something where I could control my own destiny. And I found Legal Shield. And I learned that through Legal Shield, I could not only control my own destiny, I could control my income. I could control when I got bonuses. I could control how much money I made. And my children even bought into it. They love, they love this opportunity, and they love that I'm home every day. My children have never known daycare. And I pick up my kids, my son can call me at 10 in the morning. I can go get him. Or, on a Wednesday, we can go to dinner. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever I need to do with my children. But more importantly than having my family time, the people that I work with have created this amazing environment of self-development and camaraderie that they're not colleagues, they're my family. And the people in this Zoom that you're watching right now have become people I depend on every day, just for motivation, for, hey, I have a question, or can you help me figure this out, or where can I find this information? And you have that. And it's not something you have in every company. But with Legal Shield, it doesn't matter if you started yesterday or if you've been in this company for 50 years. Someone will help you. And you don't get that in every company. And when you think about becoming a manager or a director, you think, man, I hope that other guy doesn't get it. In Legal Shield, if you want to be a manager, a director, executive director, bronze executive director, platinum world council member, if there are 25 other platinum world council members, you can be a platinum world council member too. So you don't have to worry about whether you're going to beat the other guy. You just rise to be with the other guy. It's being with, not beating. So that's the amazing part of this company, is that everyone has the opportunity to be at the top. You just have to make the decision. Hope you make the decision. Thank you, Mr. Tanner.
Venus, thank you very much. And I agree. I just have loved the fact that since the day I got in this business, I've had access to mentors, coaches, cheerleaders, people that believed in me, people that believed in me more than I believed in me. From the very beginning, I've had access. And today, getting started in this business, those mentors are a phone call, email, or text away whenever you need them. Now, the way I started this today was I talked about, what do you need to evaluate? Well, you've got to have a company. We've got that. 51 years in business, a half century later, we have stood the test of time. There has to be a need in the marketplace. The fact is, all you have to do is look around. People have been pushed around and minimized too much. People have felt unheard for too long. And because of Legal Shield, people have their voice back. They stand taller. They have their rights. They have the balance of power. We have products that speak to the consumer today and are priced within reach of the consumer. We have a compensation model that can't be beat. 1-year advance commission, daily direct deposit, and you own your residual book of business. And as I said at the beginning, the T of timing is far more important than the T of talent. And this is the perfect time to get started with us, as we're taking this company from 4.4 million to 50 million and changing every corner of every community and changing the culture by bringing equal access to equal justice everywhere. Now, this is a business that you can start part-time, work from anywhere, from our incredible mobile apps. It's a willable book of business. The residual income is yours and it's real. We have a fast start training class to get you started. As a matter of fact, we're going to take a 5-minute break here in a moment, and then I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get started in about 15 minutes. So you don't have to wait till tomorrow or 2 days from now. Those of you that are getting started, you can come right back here 5 minutes later, and I'm going to walk you through what you need to know to launch right away. We have ongoing weekly training, mentors, and this is a business you can start for $49. Now, I know that that creates skepticism because you're thinking, why isn't it $49,000? Why isn't it $4,900? Why isn't it even $490? $49 is less than the actual administrative cost of setting you up as a new associate at our home office headquarters, setting you up for direct deposit, getting your websites turned on. All of that does cost more than $49. But the need in the marketplace and the opportunity in our company has never been what it is right now. We are in this incredible forward momentum, but most people are going to go to bed tonight having no idea that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists. We recognize that. And so for a limited time, we have a startup fee that's actually less than our company's cost of onboarding you, only $49. So here's the steps to get started. We're going to get you set up. And by the way, all you have to do is get back to the person that invited you to this meeting. If they're not sitting right next to you, if they are, you're probably hugging them right now. And I totally understand, because that's how I felt when I got started. But if they're not, just tell them you're ready, and they'll text you the link to their website so you can get these services for yourself. And if you have a family, it covers your family as well. You're going to become an associate so that you can join us in the mission of bringing equal access to equal justice to every community. And then just come back here in about 4 or 5 minutes. It takes 3 minutes to sign up. I'm giving you an extra 2 minutes to exchange text messages. Come back here for my getting started training, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to leave the Zoom open. The chat will be open. Your job is to get back to the person that invited you, and they're going to walk you through getting started. And I want to congratulate you, because I know that most of you, if not all of you, that are seeing this for the first time today are saying, this is a no-brainer opportunity. The cost to get started is so low. I would be silly to just even think, because you can't think, what if it doesn't work? At $49, you have to think, what if it does? And by the way, it's worked for me. It's worked for hundreds of other families that have earned over $1 million. It's worked for the 30,000 associates that this month are getting a residual income check because they shared this membership with a few people, a few dozen people, a few hundred people, a few thousand people, and it can work for you as well. If you're coachable, if you have a burning desire to succeed, and you're willing to follow a simple, proven system, this is the place for you. So for those of you that are, congratulations, welcome to Legal Shield. Come back in 5 minutes, and I'll teach you how to get started.